So, are you ready to dive into the world of Amazon liquidation stores with us? We're talking about the thrill of the hunt for a steal, the promise of Amazon prices, but even lower. It's enticing, right?
Yeah.
But like any savvy shopper, we want to make sure we're not just getting caught up in the hype.
You're absolutely right. It's easy to get swept away by the idea of a bargain, but what's really interesting about these stores is the why behind their existence.
Fill us in because I'll admit, I see those Amazon liquidation signs and I am curious.
You see, Amazon, well, they are a well-oiled machine, but even the most efficient systems have, like, byproducts,
Just sense.
overstock,
Okay.
from, maybe some trends they misjudged or customer returns in, like, various states, warehouse clearouts, it all adds up.
Okay, so rather than just letting all this stuff go to waste, it gets a second life and hopefully a discounted one at that.
Exactly. And that's where these liquidation stores come in.
But these are actually run by Amazon themselves, right?
You're right. It's not like walking into an Amazon branded store. It's more like independent businesses, entrepreneurs who are tapping into this stream of merchandise that Amazon needs to offload, often for a fraction of the original cost. And that's the beauty of it. Those savings, well, they can get passed on to you.
Okay, so we're talking potentially deep discounts here. But I imagine it's not as simple as walking into a pristine Amazon warehouse and just cherry picking the best deals, right? I'm guessing there are different levels of quality, different types of stores.
You're sharp. There's definitely a spectrum. Think of it like this. Even Alibaba, that online marketplace giant, even they have a presence in the liquidation world.
Wait, Alibaba, as in I could be potentially snagging deals from the same source as those massive online sellers. That's kind of wild.
Precisely. Though keep in mind, we're not talking about scoring single items from their website. This is like warehouse liquidation, a whole different beast.
Okay, paint a picture for me. What am I walking into?
Imagine like pallets piled high, bulk buying opportunities. It can be a bit overwhelming, especially if you're not prepared.
So maybe not the best place to find a last-minute birthday present.
Probably not, unless you've got a friend who loves surprises and has a forklift.
True. But potentially a gold mine if you're strategic. Or maybe even a reseller looking for inventory.
Now you're getting it. And for those with the entrepreneurial spirit, Alibaba's integration with Amazon Business makes bulk purchasing and management incredibly smooth. But if it's bulk buying you're after, corporate liquidators is another name you need to know.
Ooh, corporate liquidators. It sounds so official. Like we're getting some kind of insider access. So we're talking big volumes here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Electronics, home goods, apparel, you name it, they probably have like pallets of it. This is where like understanding grading systems, being able to assess value quickly, that's where the real skill comes in.
It's not just about getting a good price, but understanding if that price makes business sense for you.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of bargain hunting, less about, leisurely browsing and more like a strategic treasure hunt. Speaking of which, what about a store for those who, like me, love a little bit of the unexpected, something unique?
Then let me introduce you to Bodega Outlet.
Bodega outlet. Okay.
If corporate liquidators is about volume, Bodega is all about eclectic finds. Imagine vintage electronics, one-of-a-kind furniture pieces, maybe even some quirky art.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. I'm picturing myself walking into this store, not knowing what hidden gem I might uncover.
And that's part of the thrill. They're also known for their pallet sales, which take the mystery to a whole new level.
Pallet sales. Okay, you have to break this down for me because it sounds equal parts exciting and terrifying.
Picture this. A pallet stacked high with, say, returned kitchen appliances. You buy the whole thing at a crazy discount, but you don't know exactly what appliances are buried in there. Could be a high-end blender, could be a waffle iron missing a knob.
Oh, wow.
It's a gamble, but for the right buyer, the potential payoff is huge.
That's wild. It's like a game show for bargain hunters. Okay, so you've got my attention. What other unexpected players are there in this Amazon liquidation game?
Well, let's talk about a store you've probably heard of, maybe even shopped at, without realizing its hidden potential. Marshall's Home Goods.
Wait, really? Marshall's Home Goods? I mean, I love a good deal as much as the next person, but I wouldn't have pegged them for like an Amazon liquidation hotspot.
It's true.
Yeah.
And what makes their approach interesting is the focus on branded merchandise. We're talking like, those name brand kitchen appliances, designer handbags, maybe even that high-end coffee maker you've been eyeing. but at a fraction of the price you'd expect.
Okay, now that's dangerous for my wallet. Knowing me, I'd walk in for a discounted throw pillow and walk out with a whole new living room set.
That's the risk you take with these treasure troves. But speaking of unexpected deals, let's not forget about Costco.
Costco, I mean, I love their bulk everything, but it's usually, in my mind, buy new, buy big.
And you're right, that is their bread and butter. But remember that like their whole philosophy is built on competitive pricing,
You're right.
right? Well, they apply that same thinking to their liquidation section. So imagine they're already good prices, now applied to overstock or returned items. It's a double whammy of savings.
Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here. It's like these stores have a superpower for sniffing out a good deal no matter the source. But what about those of us who don't have these, like, brick and mortar options nearby? Am I out of luck?
Not at all. The beauty of the digital age is that you can get in on this action from anywhere. We've touched on online marketplaces, but let's dive a little deeper.
Yes, please. Give me all the online options. Because let's be real, sometimes there's nothing better than scoring an amazing deal from the comfort of your couch.
Exactly. And your first stop should be those online auction websites. Think the bin store, liquidation.com, even direct liquidation. They're the digital equivalent of those giant pallet sales we talked about earlier.
Auctions. Now that gets my heart racing a little bit.
Ugh.
I can already picture myself in a bidding war for a pallet full of tech gadgets.
Just remember to set a budget and stick to it. It's easy to get caught up in the thrill of the auction and, overspend.
Solid advice. Now, besides online auctions and maybe the occasional eBay find, are there any other digital hunting grounds I should have on my radar?
Don't forget about the classics. Overstock is still a treasure trove of deals, and you'd be surprised what you can find on Amazon warehouse itself. It's like their own little online liquidation outlet, hidden in plain sight.
Right. Sometimes I even forget they have that section. It's easy to get lost in the endless scroll of new items on Amazon and completely miss the deals tab.
Exactly. And here's a thought. Don't underestimate the power of local online marketplaces. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, even neighborhood apps. You never know what someone's looking to offload quickly and for a steal.
Okay, so we've got our physical stores, our online marketplaces, even auction sites. It's almost overwhelming. But let's be real for a second. Diving headfirst into the world of liquidation, especially when it comes to things like electronics or appliances, it can feel, I don't know, a little risky. What about quality control? How do I know I'm not going to end up with a lemon? Yeah, it's like that old saying, if a deal seems too good to be true.
It probably is.
Exactly. So how do you navigate that fine line between scoring an amazing bargain and, well, getting scammed?
You hit the nail on the head, and that's where knowledge becomes like your most valuable tool. Reputable liquidation stores, both online and offline, they usually have some kind of inspection process. I mean, they're not looking to sell you a brick, right?
Right. But there's always a but, isn't there?
Exactly. There's always an element of risk. Maybe an item has a hidden defect that wasn't caught, or the description, wasn't detailed enough. This is where, like, being an informed shopper is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so what's your advice? How do I become an informed shopper in this world?
Read those product descriptions carefully. Like, really pay attention. Pay attention to the grading systems like new, refurbished, damaged box. Those all mean very different things.
It's like learning a whole new language, the language of liquidation. But once you've got that down, what else can give you an edge in this world of, like, ever-changing deals?
Oh, this is where staying ahead of the trends comes into play. For example, did you know the holiday season is like prime time for liquidation finds?
Really? Why is that?
Think about it. Tons of returns, overstock from holiday-specific items. It all needs to go somewhere.
So if you're willing to be a little flexible, you could potentially score some amazing gifts on a budget.
Exactly. And don't forget about those flash sales, limited time offers, even just knowing which platforms or stores tend to specialize in certain categories. It's like any treasure hunt. The more you know, the luckier you get.
That's great advice. So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the ins and outs of Amazon liquidation stores, from like those brick and mortar hidden gems to the thrill of online auctions. We even learned how to, navigate the risks and hopefully come out on top. But ultimately, it comes down to you, the shopper.
Absolutely. It's about finding what works for your shopping style, your risk tolerance, your bargain hunting personality.
Exactly. Do you live for the thrill of the unknown, the rush of snagging a pallet full of mystery items? Or do you prefer a more curated experience where you know exactly what you're getting? There's no right or wrong answer here. The important thing is that you're now armed with the knowledge to dive into this world with your eyes wide open.
Well said.
So, there you have it, your crash course in all things Amazon liquidation. We hope you feel empowered to go forth and, uncover those hidden deals. Until next time, happy hunting, everyone.